Okay, so the first thing we're going to tackle is the users. Now, if we look here, I've gone to users and users with extensions. Right now, we only have the receptionist, so who's the admin. We can tell with the green check mark has set up their account. But if we go to unassigned, you'll see a list of unassigned. Now, if the admin has already set up one of their users, they'll have generally done it by sending them the invite in the original setup wizard. That means that user then has to find that email, pick a password and a PIN, and navigate through all of that. So generally speaking, if they haven't done it, so if you go to users and you see someone in the users with extensions side who has a gray dot next to their name, that means they haven't accepted their welcome email. It's just easier to click on the little square beside their name and delete them and start again from unassigned. Generally speaking, in the unassigned section, you'll notice that there'll be a device assigned to that. Right now in ours, because it's the training one, all the devices are floating around in unassigned for the time being. So once we have a user, I can simply click on this and tell it it's this guy's phone. Easy enough. So to set up a user from scratch, quickly go over that here. So we'll click on an extension. And as the admin, we are not going to give them the option to choose their password or PIN. We are going to say we're assigning it. We're going to say it's not a temporary password, so the first time they log in, it won't prompt them to change their password right away. Easy. Generally speaking, most users won't have to log into this, especially if it's a smaller company. It's going to be one person who's in charge of this, who just sets how the phone system is going to work. So most people won't need access to this. Also, for smaller companies, you're going to want to make sure that where possible, everyone has the same PIN, so that if someone is off for the day, they can easily have their voicemails checked by someone else. Now, the only time you wouldn't want to do that is if it was a doctor's office. Maybe the doctor's getting confidential voicemails, or if there's an HR department and that person's getting confidential voicemails, then you're going to want to have separate PIN numbers. But most small businesses, it's fine if they'll have the same one. What I like to do is I tell them, pick a shape, like draw an X on the dial pad, because they've now bumped it from 4 digits to 6. So for me, I would just do the letter C, so that would spell out 3214789 on the dial pad. Pick any kind of security question. You have a whole bunch of choices here. First name, last name, you do have to put something. So even if the phone is going in a boardroom, you would have to put first name board, last name room. Pick the extension now. It's easier to do it now. You can change it later. We'll make him 202 for now. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. You do not need to fill this stuff out. You can fill it out if it's a larger company. Let's say this guy's in the accounting department, then it would make it easier to find. If there was 20 different accountants and 30 different of these people, it'd be a lot easier to hunt people down that way. But for a tiny business, it doesn't make a difference. It's a waste of time. Last thing, as long as this person is not going to be an admin, you generally speaking don't have to monkey around with their role. I'll show you what it is just in case. But you can make them a super admin or phone system admin. It kind of explains what it all is on each side here. But generally standard is this what everyone gets. Save the name. Oh, sorry, email. There you go. Users with unique email require unique email IDs. If everyone has a unique email address, that's fine. So if it's like Bob ad company and Steve ad company, that's great. You can leave that checked. If, however, everyone's going to be using the same email address, which is often the case, you're going to uncheck this. You can leave it checked for the first person, and they can use that as their login, but everyone else for their login, you'll have to uncheck that, and they'll have to use the 1-800 number as their login ID, along with their extension and their password. Okay, now we'll hit save. Now you'll notice we go to users with extensions. We now have 2, and he's green. He's ready to go right now. And I will build the rest of them out here really quickly, and then we'll do some more demonstrations.